Welcome everyone. Welcome Silvano. Good to have you here. So welcome to this session about artificial intelligence, a hot topic that is often misunderstood. There are a lot of myths, sometimes misconceptions. And today we have the pleasure to have Silvano Sen from Facebook, who's going to talk to us about how Facebook is leveraging AI and also why. Then we'll have a panel with two other experts, someone from IBM and the CEO of Arago, a company actually 100% focused on artificial intelligence, building solutions for companies. And so they will be able to dig a little bit deeper in other use cases. And stay tuned till the end, because we'll take your questions about AI in general. So don't hesitate. That will take place at the end of this session. Without further ado, I will leave you the stage, Silvano, and we'll start with the keynote part of these sessions.
Thank you so much, and welcome everybody from my end. My name is Silvano Sen. I work at Facebook Switzerland as a client partner, so consulting global companies headquartered here in Switzerland on how to grow their business. And I'm focusing on the industries fashion, luxury, and e-commerce. And I'm very happy to be talking to you today. Let me just get a second while I share my screen and we'll get things going. All right, so we're talking about building AI at scale here from Facebook. And talking about AI, it's really core to Facebook. We couldn't exist today without AI. We use it across our family of apps and services, which means Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, but also Oculus. Today, we use AI to provide individualized experiences for 3.3 billion people each month. And we help them to connect to what matters to them and filtering out the content and ads that aren't relevant to them. Obviously, working with my clients, consulting them on how to grow their business, it's really important for them as well to understand how they can grow the business with ads, but also organic content. You can see here a little illustration on how this works. Each and every person obviously gets individualized feeds and stories on their apps. And then in between friends and family, a business has the opportunity to place their ads or content, and we make sure to help them understand how this works, what they can optimize for, and how to be most efficient when we're really talking about the core business that I'm doing as a client partner. So pretty much nowadays, when you are thinking about starting your ad strategy or campaign, the only thing you have to do is to tell us a little bit about your audience. Are you maybe looking to reach male or female, in which country? Keep it very broad. Then we need to know about the objective. So are you looking to drive sales? Are you looking to drive brand outcomes? What is the goal of your campaign? Really closely aligned to your business goals. And then we just need a really good creative that can attract users' attention very quickly, because they are very quick to swipe through feeds and stories, etc. And then the rest is pretty much up to the machine, to AI, to find the best people for this outcome with this creative at any given moment in time. So that's a little excursus to my core business as a client partner and where AI comes into place. But obviously, there is much more. And a couple of examples here. The first example I brought is called Neural Machine Translations, which helps give the people the power to build communities across languages. And it currently powers more than 6 billion translations a day. An example, again, from the ads sector would be a company that is looking to drive a campaign in Switzerland, and their content is in German. And they can very seamlessly, push this message out to everybody in Switzerland, since we have automatic translation, which will show the ads to people who have their Facebook in French, for example, en français, and then for the Italians in Italian, for expats in English, and so on. So this enables both people to connect to people, but also businesses to connect to people on our platforms. Another example would be how we make products more accessible and enable everyone to connect with what their communities are sharing by using computer vision to understand images. And you can see here our systems can generate descriptions for the visually impaired. For example, it will tell you here that this is Diana and Hannah on green bicycles. They're riding bikes in Santo Domingo. People are biking near a red building to create kind of this descriptive mental picture of what's going on the feed. Another example would be around recommendations, social recommendations. For example, here we're working with natural language processing that immediately says, when I phrased it very simply here, I should just said, where should I go for dinner in Geneva? And then, recommendations are coming up from my network, automatically created, but then obviously also people are seeing, hey, Silvano is looking for a restaurant. Why don't you share your favorite restaurant from the area? And therefore automatically make suggestions more useful for people, and get these recommendations from your networking. This is also a very impressive example, originated in India. So to make more people aware of the blood donations feature, we use AI to help recognize when the content of a Facebook post is related to donating blood. The system can then automatically serve the person or organization a message that explains how the feature works and invites them to participate if they choose so. And this is a very good task why AI exists. I think the field of machine learning in particular excels at distinguishing a Facebook post that references a need for blood donors, right? And with an effective AI system, someone who posted a message about this importance of giving blood could be given information about how to register as a potential donor, and then could choose to be notified whenever there was an urgent need nearby. Obviously, AI is also essential for the integrity of the platforms. These tools really help to proactively identify and remove inappropriate or policy violating content. For example, share baiting, spam, pornography, bullying, anything you don't want on a platform. These tools help us to block or remove approximately 1 million accounts each and every day. Just a few weeks ago, we published our community enforcement report and showed that we are now able to remove 97% of hate speech proactively. So before any user can see the harmful content in their feed, which is super important, once again, for the integrity of our platforms. And in addition to all of this, we use obviously AI to power innovative experiences that otherwise just wouldn't be possible. You see here, messenger bots, for example, that not only can help with your customer service or business customer care, but also in this example, help with bookings when you're traveling. Their guided shopping experiences. We've seen brands doing all kinds of stuff, anything imaginable, pretty much. We already talked about generating content, and now I would like to talk a little bit more about about augmented reality as well as virtual reality that is powered by AI. And by the way, that we are doing also tons of research here in the Zurich office where I'm located. So first object here is Portal's smart camera. So Portal is a device that can help you connect with your friends and family through video calling. It also has a lot of other features. But I would like to highlight here the smart camera that you can see is following people around very seamlessly while they are interacting, while they are chatting. And you can see here another person enters the room talking while the other one is not interacting. And then the camera will automatically recognize this and zoom in on this person. So Portal is something, for example, at Facebook, most of my colleagues are using it every day for our meetings and video calls. super innovative and obviously AI driven. Another example from a device that I'm also using on a daily basis here is virtual reality. In this example, it is about the Oculus Quest hand tracking, which allows you to use your hands in place of your touch controllers, which look like this. So you don't need them while you're using your VR gear. And it works by using the inside-out cameras on the device. And the headset will detect the position and orientation of your hands and the configuration of your fingers. Once detected, the computer vision algorithms are used to track the movement and orientation of your hands. I can only recommend, if you ever have the chance to experience this. Obviously, you're also free to, these devices are available for purchase. And there are tons of great apps out there that can foster a tremendous experience. Talking a little bit further about AR and VR, here also a stat from business leaders. 75% predict that they will be using AR or VR in some capacity. And last year, in 2020, that number was just at 40%. So there is tremendous growth and interest also from business leaders. And I would like to share a couple of things here. First, moving on with virtual reality. So what people really liked, especially also during the pandemic, is to bring kind of a virtual gym to their homes. This is a very popular game that you can see here with the blades. Really fun to play and will work your cardiovascular system, as well as just being lots of fun while playing it. But then there are also more serious use cases, as you can see here. So imagine you're a surgeon and you can suddenly train for the treatment of rare diseases without virtual reality. I don't know how these things could be even possible. Would love to share you some other use cases. I'll make sure to link these things afterwards. Maybe we'll have the chance to get back. But this is obviously only just the beginning of virtual reality. And then the other big buzzword is AR, or augmented reality. And I brought you just a couple of examples from clients that we work with, where you can see, usually it's in filters or in experiences like Instagram stories with the Instagram or the Facebook camera. On the left-hand side, you can see with Hyundai, we drove discovery and excitement about new car. And then BMG invited Kylie Minogue fans to dance with her at the disco. The example here with furniture is from Made, where you can place their furniture inside of your living space and see how it looks. Obviously super cool. And then, we even use it for Facebook recruiting on the right-hand side to start a conversation with them. So tons of use cases, but not only international, also from Switzerland and from the luxury space. On the left-hand side, a virtual try-on that is from Louis Vuitton, where you can try on the newest collection of sunglasses. You will also see a familiar face afterwards. Trying this feature, trying to look cool or something. Not sure if I succeeded well. Then we have, features around gamification. You can, for example, see here Swatch that used one of their newest watches to kind of immersively play a game with some blocks that you can hit. The largest e-com company of Switzerland, Digitec Galaxus, here driving recall of one of their campaigns with the cool reviews that you can find out what is the review for yourself. And then from the area here, Audemars Piguet, when they promoted a partnership with Marvel, as part of a larger collaboration with the brand. So yeah, obviously opportunities are pretty limitless, and yeah, I would encourage you to test these features also, test them for yourself. And if you're interested, please reach out. It's, creation of these is actually pretty straightforward with a self-serve tool. So happy to help. You can always reach out to me also directly, and we can guide you to the right place. All right, I think this was it for today. I'd like to again thank everybody for joining the session, and be reminded that for Facebook, AI isn't an experiment, but it's an extremely important technology that is underpinning everything that we do. I showed you a couple of examples, but it is really at the core of everything we do, of our company. And we're with all the innovation that's been driven, the features that are coming, we're only at the beginning. So thank you very much for your attention, and I would get back to the hosts to continue the program of today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Silvano, for that very insightful keynote. A lot of great examples, and I think it was a very clear explanation about what Facebook does with AI. I've got a couple questions I wanted to add for you before we jump into the panel, of course. I think that Facebook, so the HQ are in the US, but a lot of this AI work is being developed and led from Europe. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, we have a couple of sites where we are researching and developing these technologies. So one big hub we have in Paris, not too far from Geneva. And then the other one I know a little bit better is in Zurich, where I'm also located, where we're really, as I also briefly mentioned in the presentation, are focusing on building computer vision and machine learning technologies with the goal of advancing, virtual reality as well as augmented reality.
Good to hear that these things are being built here, not too far from here. And can you highlight a few breakthroughs that we should all know about from these teams? What's top of your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I mentioned many examples in general when it comes to AI and Facebook. And as I mentioned, AI is really at the core at everything we're doing at Facebook. One thing that impressed me a lot recently was research on MRI that we did together with University in New York. I think everybody that has been doing a scan like this in a hospital, a full body MRI scan, knows how difficult and uncomfortable this is. And, every minute drags out to an hour. And by using AI to explain it very briefly, we managed to get through this process much faster, because the process is really about collecting the data that makes it so slow. And by using our AI, we could improve and reduce the time you have to spend inside of these tubes by about tenfold. So I thought this is really amazing, and something probably people wouldn't really connect with when they think about Facebook artificial intelligence. And then, things that are developed right here in Zurich that also kind of linked to the core business I'm doing is really these virtual tryouts, these augmented reality features that can also be used by businesses and with ads that are really bringing, like a boutique experience right to your home, and everybody can feel a little bit how it would be to try these things on. So that's what really amazes me most recently.
Pretty cool. And then 10 times faster. That's a lot faster. That's a good breakthrough example. Great. Thanks, Silvano. We will do a quick pause and reconvene with everyone at 4 p.m. for the kickoff of the panel.